to negative influences and ultimately become a role model with emotional stability at home, school, and within the society. The strength of the family emanates from parents and their convictions. If there is no coherent philosophy, strategy, or approach to child rearing, and if values are not clear, parental behavior is usually inconsistent and confusing. It therefore behoves parents to define values and emphasize them in the family through words and actions. Welcome to 30 Minutes on NTA News 24. As you must have guessed, our searchlight is on strengthening family values. I am Lydia Samson. As parents treat each other in ways that satisfies the 5 needs, they become role models for the kids on how to act in a loving manner. But what is the role of the family as first agent of socialization? Are parents failing in their role in raising responsible children? Abdusalam Jibril gives us an insight.
There is an African proverb that says, a family is like a forest. When you are outside, it is dense. When you are inside, you see that each tree has its place. This simply means that no matter how large the composition of a family, every member has a place and an identity within the family. The family is the first agent of socialization, and regardless of its nature and size, it is a fundamental structure in societal architecture. As an agent of socialization, the family provides individuals with skills and practices necessary for social integration, communal and cultural stability. Parenting is also a very crucial process in the development of the child, and by interacting with other family members, the child adopts social skills and other virtues that are necessary for proper integration into society. Thus, the younger generation have their parents, relatives, neighbors, and those around them as role models and mirror to what is expected of them.
The family is the basis of every society. It means that the family is the primary source of socialization. It means that the family is what makes or mars the child. So then the family is not just important, the family is a natural part of the child's upbringing. So then a family, I don't know, words cannot really explain how important a family is, but then every child deserves to be in a normal functioning family.
I completely ascribe to the fact that it takes a village to raise a child. It's not just one person, it's everybody. Growing up, the fear of elders was the beginning of wisdom. You didn't put a foot wrong because you knew that eyes were watching you all over, whether it's grandma, whether it's auntie, whether it's uncle, there was always somebody. So it's not just mom and dad, it takes a whole community. And I think what's happening now is that that's diminishing a little bit. If we all wind back to 2, 3, 4 decades ago, we were growing up not with fences and gates and security things. Of course, the situation in the country meant a change and all that, but unfortunately, the reality is now communities have broken down. Some of us don't know our neighbors. We all go to school. Everybody will be dropped in different cars, all living on the same street. So the community sort of broke down a little bit, and it's affected.
Parenting, some will say, is one of the most difficult jobs. In fact, some will argue that it is the hardest job in the world, as parenting comes with responsibilities that sometimes put enormous pressure on parents. However, when a child lacks parental guidance or family presence, socialization for the child becomes exceedingly challenging. Sadly, this is reportedly the case with many families in Nigeria, as family values are gradually eroding. Over time, due to economic demands of society, many parents and guardians are abdicating their roles and responsibilities as parents to third party, usually nannies, caregivers, and even strangers. Disturbing, no doubt. Social experts insist that the pressure of meeting financial obligation has been a major contributory factor to the negligence of parents to their children. So many children are lacking home training and proper upbringing today because some parents are carrying out their responsibilities in absentia or by proxy.
A lot of children now, from the home they were brought up from, they lack the real training that the parents are supposed to give them before they go to the larger society. Let me give you a few examples. You discover that these days parents will go to the market, use their own money to buy wares that when the children wear, if they are going on the street, people will look at them. What type of home do these children come from? Do you understand? So it's not supposed to be like that. The children supposed to copy from what they see at home. But unfortunately, today, what the parents are teaching or what they are even imbibing into their children is wrong. So parents is not just that I gave birth to these children. They are my children. It's my son, it's my daughter. No, what is the responsibility? What are you inculcating into them?
Each parent is supposed to take care of his or her own child or children. But it all depends on individual. Some are very careless to their children. Some are very careless to the extent that they don't even know what the children eat. They don't know how the children dress. They don't know the medical bills, how to pay medical bills for their children. Not to talk of taking them to school and paying school fees.
While financial pressure has taken the center stage in many homes, some respondents say apathy to parenting is also linked to erosion of family and societal values. This, they say, has led to the increasing number of child delinquency, criminality, indiscipline, and other vices that have continued to threaten the society. The big question now is, how can the trend be reversed? How can the family be repositioned to complement the quality of citizens it endows?
Is the pressure of work or the pressure of the societal pressure around them. Then also, there are certain parents who did not equally have that upbringing, because you can't give what you don't have. If you didn't experience parental upbringing, you find it difficult to give that to your own child.
Until we help our children to receive some attitude that are very bad, our society tomorrow, we can't guarantee our society tomorrow. But their wrong attitude can be curtailed by helping them to break it through counsel, through advice, and through good relationship with them. These are some of the ways our children can turn a new leaf.
Information technology and social media is a rapidly evolving platform for younger people to communicate with each other, express themselves, and share content of all kinds. It has given rise to a new cultural paradigm that drives technology and businesses while changing the way people interact and think. While experts maintain that technology and social media plays vital roles in shaping the behaviors and mindset of young people, this tool of communication and innovation, unfortunately, has become a two-edged sword that can make and break people.
Advent of phone, WhatsApp, Facebook, all this is affecting the children. Some of them don't even like going to school again. Even if they go to school, they don't like concentrating. Some of them will be on phone. When they even spell, they can't even speak good English again. They can't write good English because they have this short way of spelling words like your, Y-O-U-R. They will type U-R. And by the time the child is used to all these things, to speak the very good English will be very difficult for him or her.
For example, children are able to get access to sites that originally they shouldn't. Children stay awake late at night just because they need to be online. And then children actually have adopted a lifestyle that is not natural, it's very unnatural. So then social media has had a very negative effect, yes, on children.
In a situation whereby maybe your child who is not up to 18 years have access to social media. So in that social media, you have all kinds of things there, which they're not supposed to, at that moment, they're not supposed to have access to it. So I think it has affected, despite that social media have impacted also positively. So it has negative parts too.
Child education, proper upbringing, parental bonding, close monitoring and role modeling are strategies that many say will serve as an antidote to the vices young children of nowadays are susceptible to. Emotional support from parents is also very critical to addressing deviance often exhibited by millennials.
Sometimes conscious, sometimes not conscious. Some people are just absent parents. Absent in the sense that it can be physically there, but they just don't have a clue. And we can't excuse them, but that's that. Then there's some people who know better but don't do any better. They face other things. They're not focused on raising their child right. And, it's just one of those things. If you don't raise them right, they might end up on the wrong path.
It's not only the parents, but the institutions, the society, the whole thing is evolving around the fact that we are not doing enough as parents, as government, as institution to bring up the children the way it's supposed to be. In those days, we could still remember very well when we were all young. If a young person come home with something that did not belong to you, your parents will first of all ask you, how did you come about this? But these days, the parents will even be the first to welcome you, start calling for people to see you, clapping hand, calling for party. My son or my daughter has arrived in your city. That is where we are having a lot of problems, and that is what brings a lot of all the crimes we are having in the society today.
The reorientation of citizens to embracing the good old value system that once defined Nigerians as a people will no doubt go a long way in reshaping national character and identity. The wise saying that when national life is taken over by social sins, the citizens pursue wealth without knowledge or character, pleasure without conscience, commerce without morality, worship without sacrifice, science without humanity, and politics without principles should remain apt in the minds of molders of the generation next, so that Nigeria can really reap the fruits from its offsprings.
Thank you, Abdulsalam. I know all hope is not lost. Moving on now, children can learn about the power of their behavior to impact each other, their parents, relatives, friends, teachers, and acquaintances, almost anyone with whom they have contact with. This helps to strengthen a sense of community among family members and also gives children a larger view of community. Is the influence of Western education eroding our culture, especially for the younger generation? How do we trace back our steps to get it right? Mujanatu Adam Saeed, it's over to you on how the family can be repositioned for national development.
The family plays a crucial role in modern society. It is the bedrock for inculcating and entrenching values that shapes conduct and stirs the tide of development in many nations of the world. Giving it critical position as a springboard in nurturing the future generation, the importance of family cannot be undermined. The saying that no man is an island aptly portrays the importance of family. From the cradle to the grave, every individual in society must at one time or another interact with their family intimately or from a distance, either as a unit structure or extended basis. The family obviously contributes in stabilizing and enhancing the growth and development of the society. Every member of the society is a reflection of the values they imbibe in their growing stages. Disturbingly, the family is undergoing changes that many say is adversely affecting the behavioral pattern of young people of today. Most notable is their preference for Western culture, also known as pop culture. This development has over the years undermined the rich cultural values that once defined Nigeria as a people. Back in the day, the values that once characterized the conduct of the average Nigerian include respect for constituted authority and nurturing of extended familyhood. This, to a large extent, promotes love, compassion, and hospitality to even strangers. Unfortunately, these values are gradually being eroded and replaced with self-centeredness and indifference to the common good. Respondent insists that society that wishes to sustain peace, unity, and cohesion must first ensure the family structure is preserved. Other respondents maintain that strengthening family bonds goes a long way in engendering virtues and values that are critical to nation building.
Rethink deep and have the good memories we used to have in the 60s, 70s about values, family values, which have sustained some of us now, and current values that are being exhibited by the youth of these days. we have allowed our youth to acquire what is not our own values, the Western values. Western to the extent what was not in existence before, like people think young people committing suicide, which was quite unthinkable of we Africans, especially Nigerians. During our days, you could even your neighbors will even scold you, and your parents, when they come, they will still scold you again, knowing that the neighbor has quite done well.
Instilling discipline in first ourselves before the children, because if you want to discipline children in the staff in the office, they see you as a bad person. If you were telling a staff in the office what you are doing is wrong, that is the bad person in the system.
The current administration has at different occasions portrays the role of various social institutions in reawakening and remodeling the younger generation to assuming position of authority and responsibility. Parents, neighbors, religious leaders, institutions of learning, as well as traditional institutions, respondents say are catalysts in rebuilding the family institution and bringing back the core values of honor, respect, dignity, and patriotism.
I would rather say it's a system collapse. When there is absence of discipline in any society, you should expect that. What we are supposed to do as parents, we are not doing. Directing children, writing exams for children, telling children where to go, where not to go, results of exams, the parents know it even before the children, the child that wrote the exam. What do you expect? It will definitely be difficult for us to correct it, but that is where we got it wrong. We must bring back the system to where it was, learning to do things the right way.
Others analysts insist Nigeria must reinforce discipline at all levels, noting that legislative framework to ensure compliance must be instilled.
I have a close friend of mine, he's a barrister. Now he once told me, I said, look, children, if they see you as an elderly, they will just grab you, they will not give you respect, and they don't even sometimes greet parents. Why is our normal ethics and values is deteriorating? He said, look, apart from that, mothers are contributing, because mothers, they always show that their children, they are better than anyone. Once you show this type of pattern or system of behavior, they will assimilate it. They will consider themselves as equal. You cannot see your child as better than anyone, but you can love your children. It's good to love your children, educate him, spend a lot of financial resources so that you can accumulate knowledge that will be useful to the society.
There is a popular adage that says that charity, they say, begins at home. I've always said this thing, I want to say it again. Whatever anybody cannot learn at home, whatever a child cannot learn at home, he or she cannot learn outside. There's nothing anybody can do about it. That is why the white man says charity begins at home. Whatever challenges, whatever problem we are facing as a nation, as regard to our social values that we used to have, my dear, the number one unit of the society we need to place this blame on is the family. Our teacher disciplined us. The teacher disciplined the child by flogging the child. It was a private school. On the opening day, when parents come and visit their children, the child reported that incident to his father, and his father happened to be a military man. He came to that school angrily, and he asked the child, where is that teacher that flogged you? They took the child, the teacher took the father, the student took his parents to where they, and the man came and slapped the boy, slapped the teacher, almost beat the teacher, until the principal asked them to lock the gate and said, you will not leave here because you have no right to enter a school and beat the teacher because he disciplined your child. Until the man apologized.
The responsibility of bringing up a child is that of a society. But now is not like we used to know. We can see how the result of maybe taking the responsibility of bringing up a child from the society has actually led us to We can see right now that maybe the parents, I believe maybe the decadence in the society is basically as a result of a failure of do I say, let me just say like a failure of the traditional family. So like if we can go back to what we used to know, where if a child does something wrong, irrespective of whom the person is, the person can scold the child and actually correct the child. You can actually go back to that time when the society used to be like that. I think it's going to go a very long way. And my advice to parents basically is, in as much as, like when I was in secondary school, like we have something like corporal punishment for certain offenses. You understand? I don't think that kind of punishment that we suffer during our days, I don't think it's like that anymore. And the reason why it's not like that is that even teachers themselves are scared, because you scold somebody's child, some parent will go as far as going back to the school to fight the teacher.
Reforms in social schemes like the NYSC, which is central to youth fulfilling the third post-Civil War policy of reconciliation and reconstruction of these core family values, should also be reviewed.
Norm or culture or values, as you would call it, it's the ideal way of life. Each asks ourselves, for instance, let me give you an instance. Do I speak the languages that you speak? Do I live my life the way I should live my life? What are values? Values are in tune with, like, telling the truth, being truthful, being honest, being respectful. It's an individual call first. You need to answer that. Tell yourself, I want to change each day in your life. Tell yourself that I have to live a life that will be truthful. I have to live a life that will be honest. I have to live a life that will be accountable. If you check it, these values are some of the things that made Nigeria a better place. But if you have individuals in Nigeria living their life where they tell the truth, living their lives in a way that they are honest, living their life, you won't see corruption. Everybody lives their life that way. You won't have anybody that will say this person is the one breaching the law, because your life is in tune with even the law.
Maintaining our moral value, we have to go back to the drawing board. We have to go back to the parents and the society and the community as a whole. Everybody is being held responsible for the deteriorating stage at which our moral values have escaped us. Firstly, the murder, or let me say the father, the men left their responsibilities. From shining away their responsibilities, so much burden on the mothers, which they are not able to hold. Because we all know that it's not easy to raise a child without both parents. But if condition warrants that, okay, the father is late or he's a divorcee, that was a situation that the community will come to the aid of that person. There will always be a man ahead. But once you just say we're promoting feminism, that's one aspect that has actually contributed to the deterioration of our moral values.
Respondents maintain that though some may see the family as a relative component of society, from all indication, the good, the bad and the ugly of the society emanate from the family. They therefore urge stakeholders across board to rise up to the responsibility of contributing their quota in repositioning the family.
That's it on the program today. We thank you very much for sharing your time with us. We'll be back again next week. I'm Lydia Sampson. Until then, God bless.
Look, enter out, go and carry your load. Go and carry your load. Don't come up for town. This big disease, don't enter town, okay? What's the name of the disease? Coronavirus, okay? They say big disease, eh? If they fly for air like this, like windshield. What do you make we pass? What do you make we go? Oga, stop palm now. Corona not dey fly like winch, and running away not go solve the problem. What is the solution? Good question. Federal Ministry of Health don't join hands with Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Say, if we follow some very simple instructions, we go prevent the spread of this coronavirus. Anytime when you sneeze or cough, cover your nose and your mouth with your hand. Wash your hand regularly with soap or any hand sanitizer wey contain alcohol. Avoid crowded places, but if you must go where people dey, make sure say you wear your face mask. Make sure say you boil your meat well, make it done. Avoid places when animals dey. But if you must go where animals dey, wear your face mask and your hand gloves. Any face mask or hand glove wey you don use, make sure say you throway am properly, make somebody else no go see am use. Those of una when dey spit for public anyhow, make una no dey spit like that, because that kind anyhow spit fit spread the disease. Make una no eat all those animals like rat, bat, snake, monkey and any animal wey die of sickness. Make una drink plenty of water, because plenty of water dey help. Make una no spread fake news. Make una no share false information. Make una no cause unnecessary panic, because Ebola come this country. All of us join hands, we push am enter corner. So this coronavirus, if all of us join hands, we go also push am enter corner.
Disaster occurs on frequent basis. Some we hear of, others we do not.